Are you only going to speak in Wookiee this whole time?
Only if he'll respond like Han Solo always does, and you know. I know, Chewie. We're gonna get there soon.
When the Chewbacca set was released, Matt and I had differing views on whether he was handsome or maybe a little odd or ugly.
Yeah, my first glance upon him was just kind of like, don't know if they pulled that one off or not. Just with the eyes and the little nose, I just wasn't sure, but had to take a closer look.
But you didn't want to take a closer look because we didn't buy him for a long time.
Oh, well, you know, I mean, I kind of looked at him at the store a little bit and on the line shopping some, but yeah, I didn't pay much attention because I wasn't too excited or impressed originally.
Well, recently he went on sale, and so I picked him up because I always kind of wanted him, and I thought, well, you know, with a sale price, let's see what he looks like.
And isn't Chewbacca like one of your favorites as far as Star Wars?
Chewie is everybody's favorite.
Yeah, he's a favorite, I think, yeah. Not sure about everybody, but he's a favorite.
Is he your favorite?
I like him. I'm not sure he's my favorite, but you know.
Well, Chewie's one of my favorites, so he can be my Lego set.
All right. Tell me about what you found.
Well, I don't know if I would call him handsome or I would call him ugly. I think I would call him absolutely adorable.
Adorable, okay. I think what my challenge kind of was is just that hair is really hard to pull off in a Lego set of this size.
I think that with how they do it, it looks close enough. It looks really impressive. It's just he's got maybe thicker strands of hair than you're used to.
Yeah, and I think as you had him sitting up on a mantle, I believe, earlier, and from a distance, that's where he starts to grow on me. He looks really cool, especially in the vicinity of C-3PO statue also. Yeah, I think the gun and the bandolier that he's got on, those kind of really pull in the realism of him, I think.
Yeah. I was a little bit worried that his eyes were going to look odd because they're kind of really inset in there, but it actually works. It kind of gives depth to his face. And
Hi, Tasha.
Hi, Tasha.
Yeah, I looked back at some pictures from just from the movie itself, and his eyes really are inset more so, and it's just the pronounced forehead and eyebrows that he has that kind of give that look in the movie.
And so I think that helped without really having to extend out his nose. They were able to kind of give that illusion. There was one thing, and pretty much only one thing, that I didn't care for on him, and that was his torso, or the middle part of his body. He is as flat as a pancake, man. I mean, there is no depth to him at all. They just built up the inner structure and slapped the plates on with the fur on the outside, and then that was it.
It's a very slender Chewbacca.
I think if he went through the trash compactor and just kind of, and then he just stayed that way for the rest of
squished there.
Yeah, that's just kind of what it looks like because.
Poor Chewbacca.
And I know that they can do better than that. I know that they can give, could have given a rounder appearance just by the way you kind of layered it up. I mean, his arms and legs, I felt like actually gave kind of
good proportions on
yes,
those,
and some depth to it. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, obviously his head did. It doesn't look just flat. So that was like the only thing. But because you do cover it up with stuff, it's not super noticeable. Which maybe that was one of the reasons that they did that, was so that this would fit on, nicely.
True.
But all you would have to do is add more sections in, and then it would have, because you can form it however you want to form it. You can kind of bring it out or smush it back in. So it's not like you can't.
Right, it would be positionable.
Exactly. But his little satchel's awesome.
Strap on the gun too. That's interesting. That looks like a fairly new ribbon type fabric or something.
It came in one of those little boxes, that the capes come in.
Oh right.
So
right.
I was like, the little box fell out of the bag, and I was like, what do we need a cape for? But obviously I have other stuff than just capes. But that's pretty cool. It doesn't shoot anything. That's the only disappointing thing.
It would have to be something pretty big to shoot out of that gun.
Yeah, I guess so. But dangerous. I mean, well, it was lasers, right?
Yeah.
That he shot out, so it wouldn't have necessarily. But I mean, they're all lasers, and they all still have the little things that shoot out, so that would have been kind of cool. But it would have required a pretty big one to fit in there.
The coloring was another thing that kind of got me off a little bit, but as I look at it, it's growing on me. I just, compared to like the minifig where it's much more of a brown and tan. The actual Chewbacca here is kind of the more of the reddish brown and just dark brown. But again, looking at him from a distance, I think it does look pretty cool.
The thing is that I'm not 100% convinced that he is that light of tan in some of the movies. I'd have to go back and look, but it seems to me like this coloring is actually what I'm more familiar with. And it does have a reddish look to it, but that's because this is the reddish brown Lego brick.
Right.
So Matt said, I think it looks a little reddish to me. And I was like, well, yeah, because it's the reddish brown.
It's called reddish brown.
That's what it's called.
I think I notice it more in the brighter lights too than just sitting in the room with natural filtered sunlight.
There is one from his clan that does have that lighter look in it. But it wasn't him. I always remember him being a little bit darker, but I know in some of the movies when they show.
Yeah, there's definitely different colored Wookiees with some of them have black markings and
Yeah.
Well, Chewbacca, I think we'll let you hang around.
Yeah, he's here to stay. He's gonna hang with his buddies. So they've made Grogu, R2-D2, C-3PO, and Chewbacca.
Well, there was the old Yoda too.
There was an old Yoda.
With the really odd looking eyes and everything.
Yeah.
They struggled on that one.
They did. That one was a little bit, they've gotten a lot better. But it kind of made me wonder what other things I would like to see them make in this kind of style. And we were talking about it. I think Tauntaun might actually be my favorite wish. That would be really cool.
That would be a cool one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you could especially split them open or something. No?
No. I thought he was going to put Han or Luke on him,
Come on.
No.
That's what everybody remembers about the Tauntaun. It's warmer inside there and you're going to survive the night on Hoth.
The tubes fly out and everything, yeah.
Ooh, come on. I wasn't going to go that graphic.
So the Rancor would be another really good one that could be made.
Yeah.
He'd be kind of interesting, though, because he's got these skinny little legs and then big upper body, so...
Yeah. And then what scale do you make him? That'd almost have to be like a 2,000-piece set or something.
Right,
It could
'cause
be
he'd have to
overwhelming unless they didn't necessarily make it this scale. Just made it smaller.
Yeah, he could be. Because, the Grogu's obviously much bigger than...
Yeah.
He wouldn't fit in proportion with them at all, but the C-3PO... Chewie and then that new R2-D2 they work. Close, he would have been taller, Chewie would have been taller, but it still works.
Pretty close, yeah.
So as you can see, they actually work together pretty well. They give enough of the illusion of height that when you put them up next to each other. And the more you would add into this character line, the cooler it would become, I think.
Yeah, that would make a cool display with several different ones, yeah.
Now I have the larger R2-D2, but he would kind of make these guys look miniature. So I don't have the new one that was released this year in 2024.
What time's the Lego store
I was going to
close?
say, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We'll have another update on that one. Saying this does shoot, doesn't it?
That one does.
It's gone.
Now you've lost it.